This is Kugan Cassius for iFLTV. We're at a launch press conference here for a fight that came out of the blue, announced a couple of days ago between Tommy Fury and Darren Till. I'm joined by Tommy Fury.
Yep.
This was very well kept under the radar because I said to Callis Howland, like, I had no idea that this was even in talks.
Yeah.
So it's hard to keep anything a secret now.
Yeah.
So yeah, how did this all come about, Tommy?
Yeah, no, it was well under wraps because it was for us as well. I'm pretty sure, Darren's the same. It came about let's say a month ago. We sat around the table with the Howlands and we thought, okay, well, I'm coming back. Let's see what we can work out and let's see if anything can be worked out. And they brought Darren Till to the table. We went away and thought about it, and we thought, yeah, why not? It's a great Manchester-Liverpool derby. Till's going to come to fight, and that's what I wanted, especially from my last fight when I had someone who don't want to keep giving airtime to, didn't come to fight. I do want to fight this time, so I'm sure I'm going to get that. And yeah, it was a no-brainer.
We'll talk about the Till fight in a minute, but we kind of had an off-camera conversation about kind of where it is in this world that you can go when you've already beaten the top two names in the influencer world. People might not like that comment, but you hold victories over KSI and Jake Paul. Yep. It's almost like you've peaked too early in that world, yeah?
Well, fuck it, Q. Gonna go on a boat somewhere. I'm gonna stay around the med, drink some white wine, and relax. No. I'm pretty sure everyone thought that's what I was doing, with the long layoff. But, obviously, for those who don't know, I did have hand surgery, reconstructive surgery on my middle knuckle. So that was the reason for the layoff. But I said as soon as I'd be able to come back, I'm back, and I'm back with a bang. It's my own event. We're going to sell the place out. I know that's going to be a sellout, and it's going to be a great fight, mate. My hometown of Manchester. So I'm making it all happen, mate. A medline at Manchester at 25, just coming off, a main event. 3 main events back to back. High profile fights. It's as good as it gets, isn't it?
Let's talk about Darren Till, Tommy. He's obviously a quite high-profile figure within the UFC, come away from the UFC, has now delved into boxing. Yeah. He had that fight which turned into absolute chaos last time out. What can you gauge of what to expect come Jan 18th with his style and how he's going to kind of approach this fight?
I think, I've seen a little bit of him in that fight. Obviously, there wasn't much to take away from that fight, but at the end of the day, I think he's going to come. Head on. He's going to come for a fight. But I think that's it, his game. And, I've done a lot with MMA people in the past. So I'm quite comfortable with the stance. As a southpaw, my brother Roman's a heavyweight southpaw. So the stance won't really cause me much trouble. And again, it just so happens, even before this fight came about, I was doing a lot of southpaw sparring anyway. So I don't know what to expect. But if I can adapt to that idiot, jumping around and doing high jumps and star jumps, I can adapt to anything.
You can't say his name, Tommy. You can't say his name.
I don't want to say his name. Fuck him. How's that?
Darren Till, I spoke to Darren Till yesterday on an interview. Look, he was respectful in the fact of talking about you. This could change today at this press conference. This press conference, by the way, hasn't happened yet. And we haven't entered your father into this conversation yet either.
Yes.
But
it's not yet today, so someone's in for it.
Okay, so Darren Till is convinced that he knocks you out. Like he said, he was almost giving it as a foregone conclusion that that's going to happen. It's just a response to that.
Yeah, well, of course. Jake Paul said the same thing. Jake Paul said more than that. My God, he was giving an Oscar-winning performance on how he was going to knock me out. But it's fight talk. What else is he going to say? Oh, I'm going to try to, or I hope I knock him out. Fuck, that's going to sell the fight well, isn't it? So, no, listen, it's all hearsay, is what it is. At the end of the day, I've done countless rounds with Tom Aspinall. You can speak to Tom about this when I was 15 and Tom was however old he was. And just ask Tom Aspinall about me boxing. He's done many rounds with me from being a kid. So I'm pretty sure if you ask a fair people about the trade as well, they'll know. And of course Darren Till's going to say what he's going to say. But I'm just looking forward to the date.
There's a weird video of you and Tom Aspinall on IFL, isn't there, from many years ago. Google this on YouTube.
Many years ago.
You was probably about 15 or 16 years old at the time with Tom, who was kind of like contemplating what direction he was going to go. And that video's been on there for at least, I reckon, 8-9 years. How old are you now?
I'm 25 now, so yeah. But
about 9 years ago. You was about 16 at the time, I think.
Yeah, about that. Many moons ago. And we watched it together. And oh my God, it was I don't know what I was watching. It was like I was watching another person, but it just shows how far he's come, how far I've come, and it's good to see. It's nice to see.
Yeah, it's great to see Tom. I messaged him the other day. He's like the whole talk of the week was not really about John Jones and his opponent. It was about Aspinall and John Jones.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not even the biggest MMA fan in the world, but so John Jones versus Tom Aspinall, I think that's the biggest fight in the UFC that can be made right now, and it has to happen. It has to happen. So Dana's going to have to give John Jones his fuck you money, and Tom Aspinall's just going to have to get in there and prove what he's saying is correct.
I do need to ask you about last weekend. Obviously,
last weekend, what happened? Sorry.
Did that slip your mind?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, everyone's had their say, and obviously it was a huge build-up to an event that I think triggered around 60 million people on Netflix to watch it. It was a huge event. Yeah. I don't know if you watched the whole fight, if you watched bits of it, but what did you make of kind of what you've seen?
Well, it was just a bank robbery, wasn't it, at the end of the day? I knew it was going to. I didn't expect anything else other than what we saw. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to talk about it in a boxing sense, because there's no point in doing that, because you can't. But in a business sense and, in a commercial sense, it was absolutely amazing. And yeah, well done to both men, earned plenty of money out of it, left with a little trickle of sweat going over their eyebrow. And that's it, isn't it? That's all you can really say about it. Great business sense, but as a fight, I mean, it's not even worth talking about.
As a result of that, we've seen Artur Beterbiev, Daniel Dubois, kind of a few fighters come out and kind of almost putting a branch out there to Jake Paul.
Everybody is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of business sense from their side. Yep. Seeing how far. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, is Jake Paul doing anything wrong?
Not really. He's doing what he needs to do, innit? At the end of the day. But Poppy got there first, so I got there first. I'm the first man to beat him. But it is what it is. I think it's a bit embarrassing. The fact that undisputed, unified heavyweight, light heavyweight champion of the world, and these top prospects, they're calling him out. I think just stay in your own lane. You're not earning enough cash being the king of your division. I don't know. If I was the undisputed light heavyweight champion, unified light heavyweight champ, I wouldn't give a fuck about Jake Paul. I'm king of the world. What am I worry about that for? And if you're not making enough money, then you're doing something wrong, aren't you? So I don't know. It is what it is. Everybody else's thing. I took the fight because financially it made sense. I was at the start of my career, so it was like fighting a journeyman anyway. So it made sense for me. But for these guys to be talking about Jake Paul wanting to fight him, it's a bit unrealistic.
All right. Last one for me, Tom. Obviously, over the last few months, your kind of personal life has been in the spotlight a lot. I'm not going to go into that, but are you okay with everything? Just a comment on that.
I'm well, Kugan. I'm well, and that's all I'm really going to say. As a family, we're happy. I'm not going to touch on it, but everything's okay.
That's it. All right, no problem. Tommy Fury, thank you very much. We look forward to a great build-up. This is going to be, like I said, Manchester versus Liverpool.
It's going to be rocking, mate.
It is going to be rocking, yes. And we are expecting a bit of a firework kind of build-up. So let's see what happens. All Tommy, thank you very much.
Cheers, Kugan. Appreciate it.